But it's Bruce's wife's birthday. We gotta make it quick. She's waiting for dinner.
People have got things to do, people
Well,
have places to go.
let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have the roll call.
Wayne,
Present.
Jeannie, present. Bruce,
Present.
I'm present.
Bill here. Janice will not be able to attend tonight.
Okay, if we can have approval of the agenda.
Got two things to add under other business. Bike rental grant with St. Joe and racquetball court location.
Approve the agenda with the two items added.
I second.
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay. The minutes are in front of you. I have a motion for their approval.
Approve the minutes as printed.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay,
Copy, John, we can get, if you wanna sign that, and then I'll get it to Janice.
okay, in just a moment.
Yep.
In terms of grants, I did one here to the Bush Foundation. Their community grant process. And if you remember, our long-term range plan was, well, it must be 5 to 8, 10 years old. What year was that? The last
Well,
master
that's
plan?
probably 10 years old, yeah.
Well, anyway, in essence, what this is getting funds to have a citizens committee with 30 people from across this community to look at our parks and give some new direction and stuff like that. And it's about a $40,000 grant, so. And the key thing I threw into this, you'd be interested in this, is makes this grant somewhat different if we get it. I thought have them all work on a common project, and the thing that came to mind, something you and I've talked about with you, is about a dog park. And they'd all work to construct a dog park as the tail end, at the end of this project and so on, if we get it. It's sort of a wild idea, but, and so on, but anyway. So that's that. Bill, what would you have on the amphitheater?
Just to give you a little update here, last meeting, I think I'd said that we would try to go out there tonight and look at it. With Janice being gone, that's not why we're not there. The big reason we're not out there is it's really hard to get around the site. We've got pretty much everything dug up. There's holes all over the place, and still a lot of activity. So we will wait and defer that to possibly October. I don't know the exact date, but sometime, I want to say it's September 16th, 17th. Look for an invitation from city to do it's going to be a little bit of ceremony out there. And main thing is about the name unveiling. So that'll be probably your first chance to get on site. So about a month and a half or 5 weeks from now. Other than that, we are just, like I said, footings, block work. So got another month of that, I suppose, and then we can start to fill in all the backfilling it, and you'll start to see more of what the amp would look like. And that's pretty much it that I have on the amphitheater at this point.
Okay, next, the River's Edge ball fields.
So yeah, I'll lump in the ball fields, the restrooms, and one here. The ball fields are done, and there is some minor work that needs to be done. Babe Ruth reached out to me today, and what I'm gonna do is I talked to Dean and our staff. He's gonna be meeting with them to try to work with them to get everything ready to go. There's late fall work that needs to be done. They are looking to use the fields right away in the spring, so there's gonna need to be a lot of work done in this late fall to get them to that point. And so it's gonna be cooperation between city staff, Babe Ruth, their workers and so forth, so. I'm keeping everybody out of there this year, this fall. I've hired Ron Schroen as one that seeded it. They're supposed to be cutting and maintaining it, so. More fingers that get involved out there, the worse it gets, so. Hopefully that'll prevail to be in good position next spring. Bathroom buildings are done, up. We're using them. Babe Ruth has moved over to the new facility. So as time comes here, I'm thinking some rain days, we will remove the old building that's on the north side, that old garage wood structure.
I stopped out there today and talked with Jason and looked at the building. That's really a nice building.
Yeah,
And I looked at the bathrooms, and those are well constructed for cleaning. And, you know, 2 unisex and 1 male and 1 female. I was, and Jason was there, and all he did was smile.
yeah, he's
And
got
told me
concrete.
about all of the good things they're gonna do there with a workbench and shelving and stuff, so. It's really a nice facility.
Yeah, great improvement, yeah. And then 13th Avenue is the same. The only thing that we need to do in the restrooms, and we'll see if we get time this fall or it'll be next spring, is the floors were just unfinished, so we want to paint them. But we'll do that with our own staff when the time comes. So you'll basically see those 3 items come off the future agenda. Consider them done and moving forward.
Okay, moving on now to disc golf.
Just so you know, everything is done and completed on there. Signs are up. Seed is coming up in that area. And I think it's a great addition. That's all I've heard is good compliments out there from the players, so. Unless you folks have heard anything differently.
Okay, our good landscape coordinator. Thank you for all your fine work.
Thank you. Bill, can we hook this thing up? I have some pictures.
I think you need the techie guy to come out here to help you.
I'm not sure if I can do that right now.
I'm lost without the pictures.
Well, let's get more time next, the October meeting.
Okay.
I don't want to waste time for us to deal with that right now.
I also have, okay, well, I was gonna show some pictures of the building of the butterfly garden at the library. You guys will just have to go over and see the almost finished results yourselves. It's looking pretty good, and it is attracting butterflies. We have monarch butterflies coming in, various stages of their development and flying around. Did I turn it off? It's not close enough. Sorry, guys. So we have monarch butterflies over there at the library, and I actually saw a swallowtail, and another butterfly I could not identify, so, you know, that's just a plus. We've attracted a woman who is very knowledgeable of butterflies, Alicia, and she is teaching me about butterflies, and maybe we can get her to teach more about, you know, to the public about butterflies, and particularly trying to save the monarchs. I have an offer of a donation of a large boulder to make a water feature, and I thought that it would be really great in the library garden. I'd like to mention that's from the pond guy, his name is Jim McPhee, and he has offered to not only donate the boulder, and I have a picture of it, but to help us set it up. And it would be a recirculating water feature. So it would be, the water would be from a vault underneath it and circulating around and going back down through the gravel. So you wouldn't have any fear of, you know, people falling in or something like that. And so if anyone would like to see those pictures and a diagram he drew for us, I have them.
Can you get those to me, Lorraine?
Sure, yeah. So, yeah, and I highly recommend it. To have a water feature out there would attract the birds, and the butterflies drink water too. So they'd be happy. And so, other than that, the flowers are growing. It's probably becoming the peak time to see a lot of the flowers pretty soon, and the hanging baskets look much better this year. We've a simpler planting scheme in them this time, and summer hires are watering away on them, and they are responding and staying lush looking for the most part. And so we have a couple more big projects. We're seeking volunteers to help with for want of a better name for it yet, the round bed on the Healthy Living Trail. That's still to be completed. And there's another bed that is underway right now. It's a smaller one, and a couple of our volunteers are working on that on their own. We're calling it affectionately the fire hydrant bed for now. It's over by the train. So that will be planted pretty soon. And it's getting some soil, and it's mostly sand right there, so we're amending the soil a little bit, so something will grow in there. Any questions for me, maybe?
Do we have room at the library for a water feature? It seems like it's getting full in there, but I don't know that for sure.
The boulder is like this big, and I picture it in the sort of the borderland between the regular garden with the trellises and then the corner part that has the actual, earmarked butterfly plants.
Sure.
The butterfly garden, though the whole thing is turned into a butterfly garden, so kind of hard to tell what's what now.
Okay.
Also, as a side note, I think that we should try to put a new tree in. I have to do some more research about how we could do that with that old stumpin' down below the ground level. But the grass is not growing where the tree was before, and it looks a little odd.
Well, we still had some work to do over there too, with some more block and trellis fencing and things like that. I don't think we finished that. So we're close, but yeah. Well, you give me that information here, and then certainly look at that. Always willing to take a donation from somebody that wants to help better our parks. I mean, see where
this would be,
just want to see if it's in the best spot. Maybe it's something that goes out in front versus more of a water feature just to attract people to if we don't have room in the back. But
possible there is that kind of gray area in the front of the building.
so
To the right of the door is kind of blah.
right.
Not much is going to grow back there.
So
But I don't know if we want, I don't know, it wouldn't really be benefiting much up there either.
Right.
Other than
Right.
to look at it sort of. And there's no saying you can't have two water features at a place.
that's right.
Okay, moving on to the park updates.
Yeah, the only thing I have here really is Lions Park, and since the last meeting, if you've been by, we have removed 3 of the 4 basketball standards out there. They were gonna be given to Discovery School to put in their back basketball lot. And, I'm not sure if they're there yet or not. I have not been in touch with them or my guys to see if they've actually been relocated over there, but that's the intention, is to set them up over there to have, 2 full court baskets over there, so. Not sure what we want to do with the remainder of the courts, the open space at Lions Park. So that's something I'm going to task you as park board members to think about, get a chance to go over there. And I'll put it on the agenda for it's the October meeting. I mean, we don't have to decide today and go, yep, we're going to do this and that. But if there's other thoughts out there, do we get community input? Just a number of different things. So willing to kind of sit back and think about it and not react and jump right now. But if you got thoughts right now, go ahead.
Nothing yet, but I'll think.
Yeah. So other than that, that's all I really have at this point for other parks.
Under other business, the bike,
Yeah, so a couple things here. Let me, the 10th Street Trail, I did get the grant's been done. We got their money and we got a little plaque from them that we can mount out there stating that it was a grant trailed. So that's kind of cool. I'll get that done. The bike repair station that we got from SHIP grant, or did that come from you? Okay, I can't remember where all these things. I'm waiting for that, to put that in yet. Couple reasons. Number one is the bike standard station for locking up bikes that they brought, that we got sent, was in ground and they were supposed to have been surface mount, so I had to ship them back and get new ones. It's something that I want to be intimately involved with, setting up down there and locating down there the bike repair station. So we'll get it yet this fall, but I'm waiting to get those other pieces in so that I know exactly how it lays out on the concrete pad down there. But it's going to probably get delayed even a little bit more than that. And the reason I say that is St. Joe was successful in getting a SHIP grant from the county for 10 bikes that you rent and lease. So we have been meeting with St. Joe and working up the fine details. The gist of the plan would be is Waite Park would have 5 bikes in a stanchion, in a gate or stand here in River's Edge, and there'd be 5 in St. Joe. And people can go up to them. You go up and use an app on your phone, and you rent a bike for, I think right now we're going to call it for $1 an hour. They go ride the bike, they bring it back, they put it back in, and then it's basically locking it in. And it says how many hours you used it, and this is your cost. So we did I haven't done a lot of work. Therese from St. Joe's been doing most of it. We had 3 different vendors. We settled on one. She's working out some more details. Big thing is logoing the bikes to make sure that they're logoed, that it's Waite Park St. Joe bikes. The program could be expanded to other communities. We'll see how that goes. We're also going to set up an RFP with a local bike shop. We have 2 here. We got Eric's and Revolution, that they would actually do the maintenance on them. Because there is going to be maintenance on these bikes, and either my staff or St. Joe's, could we do it? Yeah.
You have time for it.
Do we have the right expertise? No. So we're going to do that. So we're hoping to get those up and running late fall. It'll be, so then we can go in the spring, they'll be put out and we can do a little campaign on that. But that's very exciting.
It is.
To do that. And then lastly, last meeting we talked about the racquetball court donation. I have not talked to the gentleman again, hoping that it's still out there, which I think it is. But there was a little bit of discussion here on the board as to where that would be put at. Should it be in River's Edge? Should it be in a different location? And I don't want to lose track of that, and I don't want to lose track of this possibility of this getting donated. Obviously, it's probably not going to get done this year, maybe late fall if we could figure it out. So I guess I bring that up to the park board again. Get your discussion, your thoughts, possible locations.
Maybe Lions Park might be an option. That's not what I initially had thought about Lions Park, but that's a good option. There's room. There's a space right now that's void of something. I don't know. Jagello's out, there's no parking.
I think one thing, if we think about Lions, is we should probably be serious about thinking about actually making some off-street parking.
I think we need to have a visitation.
One option I see is that the one you're
I think
Okay.
we need to have a community meeting with the neighbors around that park.
I agree.
Have a
I
meeting
agree.
and get their input.
Yep. My thoughts of Lions Park, I've been thinking about this for a little bit, is to kind of go back in time when it was simpler, when you used to have teeter-totters, and you had swings, and you had the old basic stuff, but make it for adults. So the swings have to be just slightly wider, and the teeter-totters have to be safe and stronger. I would go on a teeter-totter, I totally would, maybe once. So, but something along those lines, or I was even thinking, John, what you did with the school is to make more of a handicap accessible playground for disabled children.
City could use one.
Jeannie, I found a picture of a buddy bench too.
And a buddy
It
bench,
says buddy
always
bench on
nice.
it.
Let me add, we're getting a buddy bench at River's Edge.
I knew we had talked about a buddy
Yep,
bench a while
from
ago.
Stearns Bank. They're donating one. So,
So I agree with John, we probably need to have a community meeting with the neighbors to see what their thoughts are. What would they like to see there? And maybe that's the first place with Lions Park. But as far as the racquetball, I don't know, how much space do you need?
well, I can touch base with him and find out, yes, we are interested. We're just struggling of where that location is gonna be at.
Maybe he has an idea where he would like it. Maybe that's kind of part of the whole thing.
Yeah, if he says, I want it in River's Edge and that's the only place I want it to go, then
River's Edge it is.
I can do that. Your grant, John, for community involvement, when do we think we'll hear from that? Okay, so we need to move sooner on Lions. I was trying to think, do we wait until we get that grant in place? But that could put us back, even if we get it, we're at least 6-7 months from having the first meeting, so. No, I know.
No, but it would be good to get their input, what their thoughts are.
So how do you want it, would you rather logistically to do that?
I think we
Try to
do
do
it
it
out
there.
there.
We do it underneath the pavilion, we just set up a night to come out there, the park board would be out there, and we just have basically an informational meeting,
What do you want? What are your thoughts?
thoughts, just
Give us,
confirm.
the biggest ideas and the smallest ideas, so we can brainstorm off of that.
Is there a certain night that works best for the four of you at this point? Probably a Wednesday night is
Wednesdays are fine.
probably a better night.
That'd be fun.
Let
I
me look,
think that, yeah, the sooner the better.
let me look at the schedule and I'll throw something out there to you guys, some possible nights and times. I know that the sun's going down fast and furious, so we want to probably do that earlier and later.
Right? Do a 5:30 or a 6 o'clock meeting.
5:30 and hopefully 5:30 to 6, something.
Sure.
I'll talk to Sean about it too. Maybe we can get creative with some other little fun things. Maybe Alicia can make it a,
I think it would be good to see, you know, the presence of the rest of the council or bits and pieces of it.
yeah.
That neighborhood has,
I think we just make it
Struggle
an
with it.
offering to, it's a park board open house and council's invited, you know, just like any other resident is. If they want to show up, great. If they don't,
right?
you know, because otherwise if we make it a mandatory for them, then we got to do postings and all that.
Yeah, no,
Oh, we don't want to go down that road, but.
no, but an invitation.
Okay. Well, I'll work on that and try to get that set up here sooner than later, although my whole month of September is booked. I'm not gonna be here much. I am, Dave Bentrud, and one of his sergeants are gonna be going to Kansas City to look at the Providence Amphitheater. So we're leaving Wednesday after Labor Day. We're going down there to view their operations. This is the company that we're hoping that's gonna do our operations here. So we can see how it all works, the finer details, and talk to them a little bit. The big thing is for the police department to see the security side. They have
Absolutely.
no idea what this looks like, and so for them to be able to see it. So we hope to go down there and see one show on Friday night and then probably drive to St. Louis to Chesterfield. That's a city-owned amphitheater. They have a jazz festival thing Saturday. Talk to them a little bit and then come back home. So it's more of a fact-finding mission. And then the rest of the Wednesdays, I know I'm either at different conferences. I do plan to go to Baltimore at the end of September for a Parks National Conference. Wanted to do that for years. Opportunity came up, so I'm looking forward to that, mainly for the vendor show, because I think there's a lot of neat things out there that we could bring to our parks that we just don't know, and I don't have the time to spend on parks, so I'm gonna try to devote my last, go to this conference and see what I can glean out for parks and different things, so. Other than that, I will get back to you on dates and proposed times.
Okay, any other business the board members would like to bring forward? If you notice there, our next meeting will be October 2nd at 6:30. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn the meeting.
All in favor?
I,
Aye. We are adjourned.
Bruce seconds that, right?